If you're looking for intellectual, informed basketball takes and you want to bring in media that knows what they're talking about, look no further than
always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights, man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands, we run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan, we got love for the game, we don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. We on the brink, it's fast break. We on the brink, it's fast break. Let's go.
What up, party people? You already know what it is. Thank you for joining us once again on this audio adventure on a Saturday morning. I go by the name Ro, the hostess with the mostest. And you know this. Joining me today, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. The author, the man in the middle, the sturdy one, America's favorite Haitian uncle.
Hey, let me tell you something. Hold on.
Reclaiming the title.
Yeah.
For the first time in 52 years. Okay, let me speak to the people. For the first time in 52 years, IET is going to the World Cup. Alan, get out of your seat right now. Let's get it. Hey, come on, brother.
Let's go.
All the names that we've been called over the years behind our back and to our face. Come on, brother. We deserve this. Let's get it.
People was calling you names.
I'm proud to be Haitian. Listen, I'm proud to be Haitian every week, every day of every week. I'm especially proud this week. Let's get it. Sac passe.
New life.
Shout out to Kodak Black and them. You know what I mean?
And who else?
Benedict Mataron.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Shout out Wyclef, Paul. Say Wyclef name. Respect that man. Say Wyclef.
I guarantee you, the day this news came out, he drew 3 fouls just running into people. I guarantee it.
Joining us also, we call him Coach, Mr. PRR Sports, Mr. 1995. You know who he is, the stubborn one. Coach Paul. Go and big up yourself.
You said what?
Go and big up yourself.
You don't know it already.
Yeah. And last, but certainly not least, last week he was America's favorite Haitian uncle.
Yo!
This week he returns to being the steady one, the architect, the professional. We call him Morpheus. Alan, the man with the plan. We are a little ensemble that goes by the moniker Fast Breaks. Big man, hit the board. Fellas, how we doing this week? How we feeling?
It's been a hell of a week. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I can't hear you.
I said it has been a hell of a week, brother.
Nah, you and me both, dog. One of them ones.
Yeah, for real.
Audience, I apologize for my voice. You know what time of the year it is. Clarendon going crazy in my household, but we fighting through.
OD. OD.
I'm still pretty though. That's right. All right, we ain't got no time to waste. Y'all already know if you've been locking in with us this season, we got a little new format. We are going to start off with our game of the week. As a reminder, game of the week is not the game that we think was the best game of the week. We are just committing to picking a game each week to watch and break down so that y'all can get y'all basketball analysis for all the basketball nerds out there. You know what it is. This week, we have the Rockets versus the Nuggets. Okay.
Good game.
It was indeed a good game. Nikola Jokic had 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Jamal Murray added 26 points and 10 assists as the Denver Nuggets held on to beat the Houston Rockets 112-109 on Friday night. Jokic scored 24 points in the second half, finished 11 of 20 from the field. Denver improves to 2-1 in NBA Cup play with one game remaining on November 28 against the Spurs. Reed Shepherd scored a career-high 27 points to lead the Rockets, who had their 5-game winning streak snapped. He had 20 points in the first half on 8 of 11 shooting, including 4 of 6 on three-pointers. Amon Thompson added 22 points, 7 rebounds. Jabari Smith had 21 points, 11 rebounds. Alperen Sengun only 14 points. Kevin Durant finished with only 13 points for Houston, which shot 44%. Aaron Gordon exited this game with the right hamstring strain less than 3.5 minutes into the first quarter after falling to the court while driving. But at the end of the game, Houston scored 8 of the last 11 points to cut the lead to 110-09 on the three-pointer by Smith with 5 seconds remaining. Jokic made 2 free throws with just under 3 seconds left, and Sengun's half-court heave at the buzzer missed. Gentlemen, talk to me about this game. What did y'all see?
So first and foremost, I know the Rockets lost.
Mike.
They're truly what?
Mike.
Yeah, that's like
literally. Wait a second. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here.
You sound like you far from the mic.
Literally right next to the mic. Y'all not hear me? I don't know what's going on. What I was saying was the Rockets, despite losing, they are only one dynamic point guard. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I know what's going on here.
No. You sound good now. When you got that close, you sound good.
Oh, okay. All right. So
I don't know. Go back as close as you were just now.
All right. Hold on.
There you go.
Switching the settings.
Yeah, you got to talk like that. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. All right. Listen to me. The Rockets are one dynamic point guard away from being a real problem. Okay. I know Kevin Durant had a bad game. I know it seemed like, this was Reed Shepherd's game for sure. Don't get me wrong here. And the youth movement over in Houston is bound to eventually take over. But I really mean it. I mean, they're with the exception of KD, they were really firing on all cylinders. And if KD was playing like KD usually does, I don't think the Nuggets would have pulled away. And going back to the dynamic point guard, they play like a team. I know that the idea is positionless basketball, but this is positionless basketball at a whole new level because it almost seems, with the exception of Steven Adams, I remember there was one play last night where KD gave the ball to Steven Adams, and Steven Adams' dad was like, what do I do with this? And handed it right back to him. And it was like, I'm at the perimeter, brother. I don't know what to do here. If they have a real floor general on this team, they can not – obviously can't turn back the clock on CP3, but a CP3-esque player, he would unlock this team. I'm not even kidding. And to go to the Nuggets point –
You don't believe in Fred VanVleet?
I'm sorry?
You don't believe in Fred VanVleet?
Fred VanVleet is not a playmaker like that.
He's also not here, so there's no point in talking about him. We're talking about
He's not coming back.
When he comes back.
He's not coming back
until next year. So
right.
I forgot about
he's out. Yeah. He's out. So they unless Kevin Durant turns into that dynamic playmaker, I don't know how this team's going to get fully unlocked, but they're very close to being really dangerous. And so the Nuggets, I mean, it's exactly what I expect from the Nuggets. Slow roll, consistency. Aaron Gordon got hurt, so that also didn't help them. But, they have enough pieces. and Jokic knows how to use those pieces in order to remain dangerous and stay out of harm's reach. So, it was exactly what I expect from the Nuggets. A little surprised that KD had such a poor game last night, but it is what it is.
Other thoughts?
I saw somebody real quick. I saw somebody on my on IG was mad at KD because he ruined his parlay. He said he's never gonna bet on KD again.
Oh my gosh!
KD stay ruining people's parlays though. That's what I've seen more videos about Kevin Durant ruining parlays than Kevin Durant doing anything good.
I'm not gonna lie. With the whole parlay thing, like I don't know if y'all use those apps or anything, but I do it here and there, like every once in a while. And it does kind of damn near ruin your experience of the game because like instead of like watching the game, you kind of like focusing on, like, man, what's this player doing? What's my player doing? So this is funny to me. But just my thoughts on the game. Overall, that was a great game. I don't know about if y'all thought the same, but I thought that was a really, really good game to watch.
It was good.
I agree on some things Andre said about the playmaking. Other things I didn't agree on. Like I don't think even if they had a point guard, I'm not so sure the Rockets come out that game with a win. Overall, I really liked Denver's defensive scheme. They played a lot of zone, but more importantly, Peyton Watson did a great job on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant didn't have a good game, but that's not to say like he locked KD up. I don't think anyone could lock KD up.
I think one person could lock KD up. I'm not gonna lie to you, but keep going.
Right. But like he did his job, you know what I mean? Like he didn't let KD get on easy and he didn't foul KD. And that's the most important thing when you guard Kevin Durant. I think he only had three points at the free throw line. So that was the most important thing when you guarded Kevin Durant. Jokic did a great job on Sengun, I thought, just one-on-one guarding him. And I was kind of surprised to see that. Jokic had an amazing game overall, but I was really impressed by like the big defensive end because obviously that's not his thing. I think whenever he had a one-on-one matchup against Sengun, he planted his feet. He didn't let him get, post him all the way down and use his strength and his like lower body to really like settle himself and make everything tough for Sengun. I don't know what Sengun's like final stats. I don't know if he said it fair, but
I don't know. I'm sorry. Alan, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just we have a breaking news alert. Actually, this happened per Shams 5 minutes ago. This is Chris Paul's last season.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I saw he basically announced it on IG right before I left.
This is Chris Paul's last season. Damn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I looked down while you're speaking, and I see.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We can talk about that.
We might have to change what our end of the pod segment is.
Okay, yeah.
Chris Paul retiring for.
You hear that, Fastbreaks family? We're what you call an adaptable podcast.
It's live.
On the fly.
Are we live? Are we live?
Hold on. We'll do it live.
Let's finish breaking down this game, though. Alan, you have any more to say?
Yeah, and I just said a couple more thoughts. I was trying to get out quick. Jamal Murray and Jokic still the best two-man game in the league. Like Jamal Murray didn't play good so much in the second quarter, but like when the third quarter started, more specifically the fourth quarter, when they started doing their two-man dribble handoffs, screen and roll, everything was like unstoppable. Like that opens up the Nuggets offense so much that you can't stop it. And honestly, in the third quarter, Jokic went off. They just kept running pin down screens for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Once you get Jokic to the nail, it's pick your poison. He's either going to find an open man if you help. He's going to shoot the midi, which is going to be green, or he had a dunk on Sengun because he could drive. It's a pick your poison when he do that. And like the Nuggets are playing on all cylinders, man. They defense is amazing. Really impressed by the defense. And obviously the offense is a lot. The bench played really well. I like when Bruce Brown gets to the game. He's really active on the defensive end and just straight runs. And he got himself like 4 or 5 easy buckets just off fast break points. So overall, I like what the Nuggets did. And they kind of like rolled with the punches and responded like how contenders do.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, thoughts? Coach Paul, what'd you see out there?
All right. So I agree with everything that everybody said so far, right? I'm going to summarize very quickly what happened, right, and what I saw. Very quickly.
Wait, can I ask a question? Are you going to get? Is there ever going to be a segment where you get one of those like those floor?
We're working on that. We're working on it.
We're getting it. Where he's getting the X's and the O's, and he's going to show us across the screen. Hey, hold on. You hear that, Fast Breaks family? We do it all for y'all. Anyway.
No, but this isn't even. You all broke the X's and O's down already. Like, I agree with everything you all said. Like, I'm looking at it from like just an overall perspective. Like, these teams are very evenly matched, but the Nuggets are just a little better. That's what it came down to. The Rockets are a little better defensively than the Nuggets. And the Nuggets are a little better offensively than the Rockets. Now, one may say, okay, slight advantage on this side, slight advantage on that side. They're evenly matched. No, because good offense always beats good defense. And that's what we saw. When it came down to it, the pick and roll with Jamal Murray and dribble handoff and all of that 2-man game between Jamal Murray and Jokic is unstoppable when they are both locked in. When Jokic is doing exactly what the defense is playing him to do, and he does it, and he actually does it well, whether it's they want him to be a playmaker, which he's more comfortable in doing, or they force him to score, which he's not as comfortable doing, but he's elite at doing when he's locked in, especially the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then when Jamal Murray is locked in playing off of Jokic, they're unstoppable. Especially when they have a good surrounding cast like they do this year. They're just literally unstoppable. And I don't think the one thing I disagree with you, Andre, is that if they had a point guard, that would help them. And we're going to talk about.
Hold on.
No, we're going to talk about that later on. Hey, host, get this man.
I'm not saying
you
go get any kind of point guard off the street from Brooklyn and be like he can fit right in. I'm saying a dynamic point guard in the vein of Chris Paul, like a very specific kind of guy.
Hold on, wait a second. Hold on. Wait. What you mean? What are you talking about, man?
I'm saying you can't just get a bum and fit him in at point guard and say you got it. I'm saying a very specific kind of point guard.
Why you got to be from Brooklyn?
Because I'm talking to you guys.
Hold on.
It can be from anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Why you say from Brentwood?
All right, fine.
Right.
A point guard from Brentwood.
You know why? Because they got no ball players out there. That's why.
That's absolutely incorrect.
Yeah.
We have NBA champions.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
We literally have NBA champions from Long Island. What are you talking about?
Oh, Brentwood, Long Island. I thought you meant Brentwood, California.
Oh, no.
No. I thought that was Strong Island. I'm talking about Strong Island.
No one calls it that.
Strong Island.
Oh, you done?
No. Real quick. I'm almost done. So that's the thing, right? Now, the Rockets, to me, I don't think they need a point guard necessarily because that's it. We're going to talk about it later on, but that's the nature of the game now. Amen Thompson does a great job in taking what the defense gives him. If he got a 3, it's a wrap. But even without the 3, the mid-range is looking good. So the biggest difference to me with that team is Jabari Smith Jr.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest difference. Last year, you could leave him open. Now he wants the 3.
Okay,
that is dangerous. That opens up the offense so much. And shout out to Reece Shepard. I don't know where that came from, but shout out to Reece Shepard and KD.
Reece real.
And KD. I don't think he had a horrible game like that. I think he was allowing his teammates to flourish because everybody was playing well. You know what I mean? So I think he just took a back seat. Hopefully in the future, he'll be able to take that back seat and then still be able to be in rhythm enough to hit them big shots late in the game because it's going to come down to him.
Yeah.
Late in close games against elite teams. But great. Listen, man, the Rockets are nice.
Yeah. And can I just put one little thing on the Jabari Smith portion? Having him on the same team as Kevin Durant, and he's able to watch Kevin Durant so closely, he's going to unlock new levels of his game. And I saw it last night, specifically, not necessarily even in his shooting, but the fact that his shooting is so, respectable now that you actually have to close out on it, and him being able to get to the basket and drive the way he does, he's coming up with. There was a layup he took. It was actually mad creative, and I'm like, wait a second, I don't remember him doing this last year. Hold on,
5 of 11 from 3 last night.
that's impressive.
Yeah, man.
Very impressive.
The fact that he took 11 threes.
Right.
That's the thing.
5 for 11. It doesn't say like the halves, like how was he in the first half versus the second half. It's okay if it doesn't. I was just curious.
I don't have that right here, but I know he hit one in the fourth that was huge.
Yeah.
All right. Basketball nerds, time to lock in. Let's talk hoops. Of course, as I say that, I freaking click out of my notes. All right, so I thought the Nuggets lost Aaron Gordon early. He went down, and they immediately went to their double big look, which I thought was very interesting, trying to match the Rockets' size and length. And I thought they actually won that battle. That was one of the margins they won, which was size, length, and physicality. Jokic was being extremely physical with Şengün. Both of them ended up ending the game with 5 fouls, so that you can kind of see how the physicality battle played out between the two of them. I thought that the first quarter overall was a very ugly game. It looked very East Coast. The score at the end of the first quarter was just 25-12. Houston had incredibly sloppy passing. Denver was playing in the gaps. Denver was incredibly quicker to the ball, whether it was loose ball, 50-50 balls, or rebounds. It's particularly offensive rebounds, which is, Steven Adams was doing his thing on the Houston side, but it wasn't leading to any buckets. Houston had no offensive rhythm. A note about their spacing. Amen's spacing when he starts as the lead guard and the lead ball handler, his spacing makes things incredibly tough for Şengün. Now, maybe that was just this game, but I see a lot of the way their offense operates. They initiate with Amen below the three-point line. He dribbles all the way down to the three-point line and then attempts to get into pick-and-roll actions and then attempts to get into handoff actions, and it's very cramped. Obviously, then Reed Sheppard came in, and I wrote down Reed Sheppard is the energy. He comes in, and they have a 37-point quarter in the second quarter to end the half. Now, obviously, he had an out-of-his-mind shooting night, but that's not Paul, you said that came out of nowhere, but Reed Sheppard has been incredibly productive for this team, and I walked away thinking that that's the better offensive look for them. Amen had a good game. Like I said, he had 22 points and 7 rebounds, but him starting as the lead ball handler, I don't like the way their offense operates against a team like Denver. Against a team like Denver, you have to have a shooting threat up top to put them in rotation, and we saw that was the case in the quarter two. I thought Jokic started the game extremely passive. I think him and KD both kind of did that, trying to get others going. It worked for both of them, but I think in the second half, Jokic came out immediately looking to get to it. And it's not a coincidence that they had their highest scoring quarters in quarter 3 and 4. They had 25 in the first, 21 in the second. In the third and fourth quarter, they had 34 and 32 points respectively. And I think a lot of that comes from Jokic's personal aggression. I actually think the best spot for Thompson is in the dunker. I think that's where he scored most of his points, when he was getting dump offs and little shovel passes in the dunker. What that means for your 6'7" nominal guard, that their best position is in the dunker. I would argue we've seen that before, but I won't really get into that. Part of why, I appreciate giving Peyton a lot of love on KD, but I think that was a full team defensive scheme that affected KD. They trapped KD on every single pick and roll, and he couldn't get clean looks. His cleanest looks were off catch and shoots, off paint touches, or off quick rip and grabs on a ball swing, which is not a lot of what Houston does. Houston does a lot of putting Şengün at the top, trying to get some off-ball movement or handoff action, or pick and rolls, and that just wasn't effective against Denver's defense last night. Another thing about why Denver is so good on offense and why they're a touch better than Houston. While Houston has a lot of talent and a good amount of athleticism and skill, Denver has a tons of poise and patience. I saw on so many occasions of possessions, they were making the extra pass and the extra pass and the extra pass, to the point where they had several possessions where they were coming up against the shot clock and not panicking. Guys were giving up good shots for a better shot for a great shot at the end of the buzzer. And that's exactly what happened, I thought, in the fourth quarter. They came down, and I thought that Houston kept trying to force two-man game with KD and Şengün instead of just attacking their matchups. You know, that was one thing I saw from Kevin Durant. Literally down the whole last 4 minutes, I did not see him try to ISO once. I did not see him try to get a post up look. He continuously tried to pull, the big out of the paint, but he can no longer turn the corner. And in the short roll, Şengün wasn't finding much. And they just kept going to that. On the opposite end, Denver was moving the ball. It was a direct contrast in styles. Denver was moving the ball. Jamal Murray was getting downhill. Jokic was attacking any mismatch that happened off rotation, and they're moving the ball great in order to end the game. I thought that it was a matter of execution. I think Houston's shooting kept them in the game, but I don't actually think Houston played that well. I know that sounds crazy, and I know that a lot of guys, they had 4 guys in double figures, but I truly think that came from making shots. I think in a playoff series, they would get swept by this team unless they learned to play differently. The way they executed that game, if Jokic didn't come out passive, if Jokic was personally aggressive from the start, Denver probably would have won this game by 10 to 15. I think Denver had a lot of respect for Houston and were trying to feel their way through the game, and they were sort of just outworking Houston, which is why it stayed close. And then Houston, did a really good job of making shots when they needed to sort of stay in the game. But Jokic kept the Nuggets steady the whole second half, and there wasn't really ever a time where I felt like Houston was going to win the game, especially again from those last 3 minutes. So just to give you, your hardcore X and O's for the Nerds fans, Houston has a spacing issue, and Houston has a ball movement issue at the end of the game, and Kevin Durant is not the player that you can put in pick and rolls to get good shots towards the end of the game. I don't think that's the best way to utilize him. And I honestly think Reed Shepard needs to be their starting guard moving forward until Fred VanVleet gets back. It gives him a better look. Here's the thing. He played 36 minutes last night anyway, right? He played 36 minutes last night anyway. I think to start games, I think you want the Reed Shepard look. Now, I don't know who goes to the bench. I honestly don't know who goes to the bench. But I honestly think if you're going to start Steven Adams, Kevin Durant, and Şengün, and Jabari Smith Jr., I don't think you can have Amen Thompson out there with them. I don't like that lineup. I don't like that lineup for extended runs. I think either you sit Adams and make Şengün your starting center and start Reed, or you have to sit either Amen or Jabari Smith Jr. I think Jabari Smith Jr. got up 20 shots last night in 36 minutes. That sounds like a guy that should be leading your second unit.
Nah, you got to look at it from a situational perspective, right? The type of
I'm just talking about how their offense operates. I just did not like the flow of their offense whenever the line – and that's what happened down the end of the stretch. I think in the fourth quarter, they kept Reed in for a good amount of time, but at the end they went to their starters, and you had Amen, Kevin, Steven Adams, Şengün, and Jabari Smith Jr., and they couldn't get a good shot. The only reason they made it close is because of Jabari Smith, hitting that crazy shot in the corner 3 to bring it into where they had a chance at a half-court heave, and also Denver missing some free throws. But when we're talking about the real crux of the game, the last minute, Denver was able to get up 6 because they came down 3 straight possessions and got a bucket, and Houston came down 3 straight possessions and could not get a good shot up because they had that lineup on the court. So, I mean, the start of the game, they scored 12 points with that lineup, and the end of the game, the last 2 minutes, they damn near scored 0 points with that lineup. That tells me a lot.
I mean, that comes down to a coaching perspective, too. Ime Udoka sees that, and he says, finish. You can't hear me? Ime Udoka sees that terrible start and says, let me give him a second shot to get it right at the end. Brother, what? That's just a bad coaching decision. I'm sorry. I agree with you. Their lineup does need to change. I don't know. Yes, I think Shepard should somehow fit into this starting lineup. I'm not really sure who you put on the second unit, because here's the thing. Steven Adams does not help the bench unit at all, unfortunately. He's an enforcer. He's there to set the tone. He's there to set hard screens. He's there to get rebounds. He's there to give a guy like Jokic or other guys a second thought about going to the paint. And you need a guy like that. Jabari Smith, he gives you obviously shooting. He gives you attacking from the perimeter. He gives you perimeter defense. He even gives you some paint defense as well. Amen Thompson, he speaks for himself. He's probably their best defensive player. So I don't see a guy like that also going to the bench. So that being said, while I agree with you, I don't know how to realistically make it happen. And here's the answer that not many people are going to like. The odd man out actually might be the most obvious. Kevin Durant.
I knew you were gonna go there. I knew you were gonna.
He might be the odd man out.
Let me ask you this question. If Fred VanVleet were healthy, what would the starting lineup be?
I mean, Fred obviously gets it, but I don't think that's correct.
But
You know?
just think through it. If Fred VanVleet is healthy, we know he's the starting point guard. Who would go to the bench?
Amen.
Right.
Nope. Still don't agree with you.
Because right now, even looking at the box score, they, in terms of positionality, for what it's worth, I know there's debate about this. Right now, if you look at that lineup, in terms of floor spacing, you have Kevin Durant basically playing your 2.
Yes.
That is, you don't want Kevin Durant as your 2. You don't want him defensively as your 2.
No.
And offensive spacing, you don't. That's why all he could do was get in a pick and roll for offense at the end of the game, because what other kind of offense are you going to run with Kevin Durant with Jabari Smith, Şengün, and Adams on the floor?
I'm telling you, the odd man out. The odd man. This is the thing. Udoka clearly, when he had Boston, right, he was used to building a team full of young stars that were going to collaborate together. He doesn't need a whole ton of vets out there. He already has vets in Fred VanVleet, and he has vets in Steven Adams. You get a guy like Kevin Durant, he's clearly even though the team is doing pretty well against better teams, a team of the caliber of the Nuggets, he is struggling in order to figure out where to put him and how to create offense for him. What that means is that either one or two of your young stars is hitting the bench, especially when Fred gets back next year. Is that Jabari Smith? I don't know if I want to take that risk.
Yes.
Is that Reed Shepherd? I don't know if I want to take that risk. Is that Amin Thompson? I don't know if I want to take that risk.
Can I put this at you as well? One thing that also showed in a lot of the runs of the quarters is Houston has a depth issue. They only played 9 guys. Clint Capella played 4 minutes and was completely ineffective, and they learned that quick. Reed Shepherd, like I said, played 36, 37 minutes, and he was your leading scorer. Josh Okogie comes in for 11 minutes to hit 2 threes and play some defense. And Aaron Holiday came in for 14 minutes, again, because Ime Udoka realized they needed a lead guard up top that was a shooting threat. Now, he didn't make any buckets, but the fact that he was a threat gave them better spacing. They don't have a bench to go to. Denver, on the other hand, they had a ton of guys to go to. Tim Hardaway didn't start. He played 31 minutes. Now, you could say he got Aaron Gordon's minutes, but still, Jonas Valanciunas, 16 minutes. Bruce Brown, 20 minutes. Spencer Jones, 21 minutes. And they had a lot of production. And Cam Johnson, 32 minutes. So, I don't know. I think you need someone coming off the bench that can give you some production. Right. In the way that Tim Hardaway does when Gordon is healthy, and Bruce Brown does when Gordon is healthy. That's, again, Jabari Smith Jr. shot 20 times. Kevin Durant shot 15. I would rather have Jabari on the bench putting up those numbers. I think he can give you 21. He gave you 21 and 11. I think he can give you 25 and 13 off the bench.
Nah.
But piggybacking what y'all said about the Reed Shepherd starting, I don't disagree with that, right? But
I do.
It depends. Let me take that back. I don't disagree that it might be better for their offense, but the problem is, and Ime Udoka got a little Tibbs inside him. Pause. Ime Udoka has a little. She shows a lot of traits of Tibbs in this way, in that at some point, when the Nuggets realized that the Rockets were switching at some point, and Reed Shepherd was on the floor, they just kept attacking him a lot. He was getting kind of cooked and key. Mm-hmm. And knowing who Ime Udoka is, he can't stand that. So he'd much rather have Amen Thompson out there as a point guard, even if that means that's going to let the offense suffer. Because I think in his mind, he probably thinks, if I have KD and I have Alperen Şengün, I could let my offense suffer a little bit because these guys will carry me through.
That's a fact.
Not against great teams, though. I think that's what we're showing. I know the Rockets have a good record, but let's really take a look at who they've beaten.
You and I agree on that, but Ime Udoka is not the type to agree on that. You know, like he's like that's what I'm saying. He kind of has a Tibbs in him because like he's stubborn in that way. It's all about defense on him. If you can't stick with a matchup and at least guard people and not get cooked, you're gonna sit out. So it's a little take and give with him. So I don't know. I don't know how that can be rectified. It might and that's where Fred VanVleet would come in. But like
Fred VanVleet needs to go to the bench, man.
For quick reference, here's who they've beaten coming into Friday night: Cleveland, Orlando, Portland, Washington, Milwaukee. Good win against the Spurs. Grizzlies, Dallas, Celtics. Good win against the Raptors. Nets, Pistons. Oh no, they lost to the Pistons and Thunder. So when they play, they actually lost to the Spurs. So every time they play a really good team, they lost to the Pistons, they lost to the Thunder, they lost to the Spurs, and now they've lost to the Nuggets. So they're beating up on these lowly to mid-league teams. Right. But this defensive-minded lineup is not working against good teams.
Okay, here's the thing, right? I think we're underrating Amen Thompson a little bit. Right.
No,
man.
Can I just real quick to clarify my point? Obviously, those 5 players are the best 5 players on the team.
Now I know.
No one's debating that, but the look, the balance, the floor balance is bad.
I know. I listen. I agree with you to an extent, but I still think we're underrating Amen Thompson a little bit. First of all, right? I think we need to really evaluate Kevin Durant, not to the level of Dre. But we do need to evaluate it because he's old. Who's to say that he wants to take more than 15 shots? Right now, here I know it sounds crazy. Jabari Smith Jr. taking this many more shots than Kevin Durant. I'm looking at the quality of the looks. Most of those looks were great looks for Jabari Smith Jr. They were open, and then he got hot. Right. So how bad is the offense really? It's not. I don't think it's a championship offense. But it's not.
You can't score 12 points in a quarter.
Hold on. Amen Thompson, right? As a point guard, I think is still the best look. First of all, Reece Shepherd is food. And I'm not just saying that from like a
no, he is.
Ime Udoka likes defensive guard. No, like he's literally like he's unplayable as a starting point guard right now. He's that bad defensively, right? Number one. Number two.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. Because we are Knicks fans, and we know
you're not a real Knicks fan if you're gonna say what I think you want to say.
Jalen Brunson is also food.
He's not food like Reece Shepherd because he can take a charge.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say he's food.
You shouldn't even bring up his name.
I'm just saying Jalen Brunson is not like a defensive stalwart. You know that.
I said Reece Shepherd is food. There's a difference between not being good.
But you can. He's also young.
Food. You know food, barbecue chicken, food.
There's a couple barbecue chicken starting point guards in the league. Come on.
No.
There's a number. There's a big number.
There are point guards who are not great defensively. Then there's food. Like Trae Young is food. Stephen Curry used to be food. Now he's just not great. Right. Now hold on, but let me finish my point though. Right. Amen Thompson. The pick and roll was a little ugly, but they were sagging off of him a lot. And when he pulled up for that mid-range shot, he was wide open and it looked good, right?
But it didn't go in.
It started to go in later in the game.
He got most of his points off dunker dives, bro.
It started to go in later in the game. I agree with you, but it started to go in later in the game. If they continue to develop that, I'm a Thompson, not just because he's going to play for Team Jamaica. He's actually a very good young player. I'm a fan of his, right? If he continues to take that shot and make it, the form looks good, then he can survive as a starting point guard. I think Steven Adams needs to sit. I think he needs to come off of the bench. And Dellavedova was a defensive player, so I disagree with that. But that's the thing. Like, I think Steven Adams needs to come off of the bench. Jabari Smith Jr., if you put him on the bench, I think, Tim Hardaway Jr. was getting his points off. He could do what Tim Hardaway. No, he can't because he doesn't have the skills that Tim Hardaway does, the guard skills to create his own offense and all of that. Jabari Smith Jr. was playing off of everybody else and was doing a great job. You don't want to ruin that, first of all, for a young player who's productive, number one. Number two, he ain't in his role because he fits in that role. The problem is Amen and Steven Adams. Not Amen, sorry. Asar, no, Sengun and Steven Adams.
Correct.
That's
agree.
the problem. Not Amen and Jabari.
I also think though, I want to throw this plug out. I disagree with the comments. I saw a lot of Austin Reeves and Reed Shepherd, and I think you need to develop that. And
That's what I said.
Once that develops, that's not a player you can keep on your bench. Trust me, I've tossed this idea out many times. Many people have suggested, should Austin Reeves be the sixth man, yada, yada, yada. If Reed Shepherd develops in that trajectory, you can't keep that kind of player on your bench. You can't.
He don't got Austin Reeves size.
Not yet. Do you see how, bro, he literally played the exact same way.
He doesn't
the
have
exact same. The only thing that was missing was the volume.
He doesn't have the size. He's shorter.
He's shorter, but still he's 6'2". No, he's a solid 2 inches, 2.5 inches shorter. But I just think he's that kind of player, man.
Also, Reeves, he plays off of his size too. That's why he could eat like that too.
Let's end it there, though. I think we've given the basketball nerds plenty. Real quick, rapid fire, and if we're gonna add the Chris Paul topic, let's really keep this 60 seconds uninterrupted. Quick takes. Paul, I'm gonna start with you. Just want to hear your quick take on injuries this year in the NBA.
Listen, whoever figures out what's going on with these, it's not. See, the thing, it's not even just an NBA thing. It's sports in general, and whoever figures out what's really causing the amount of injuries that's going on in professional sports today is going to be rich, because this is a huge issue. This is a huge issue that did not exist to this level decades ago, even 20 years ago. It wasn't like this. So I don't know what to say. I don't know if it's the pace of the game. I don't know if it's the strength of the athletes, the workout regimens. People used to think that it was because these athletes grew up specializing in one sport and therefore just overworking the same specific muscle groups over and over and over again, as opposed to being like LeBron, all-star football, all-star track, all-star basketball, and then they just became a basketball player professionally because that's what they chose later on. But the training that they got from the other sports, it helped develop their bodies in a full sense and making them, stronger and healthier and able to withstand, the weirds here. But we don't know what it is. I don't know what to say about that. But whoever figures it out, congratulations. You're a billionaire.
Alan, quick take on injuries.
It's tough to say for me because I don't know. Like the injuries that we're seeing today, there are a lot more, but it's also just like you're out with a calf strain for 2 weeks. You're out for groin strain for 2 weeks. It's things like that. And a part of me feels like maybe we're overblowing this. Maybe teams are just being like super duper careful with their players, and as opposed to like maybe years past where people might play through that. Because a couple years ago when KD had the calf problem, they forced him to. He chose to play in the finals, and he ended up tearing his ACL or Achilles. Sorry. So a part of me feels like maybe this is just an overabundance of carefulness. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe players are not focused on like strength training and muscle development. It's really hard to say. I would love to hear like an expert talk about it and like give their opinion on what's going on, like a sports doctor.
They don't know.
Yeah, but it's really hard to say.
Dre, quick take on NBA injuries.
So, just to the package standpoint of the NBA package, obviously it affects the viewership. It affects a number of players who we expect to see, the Jason Tames of the world, the Holly, players like that. But in another sense, it gives a weird opportunity for a lot of players that we're not seeing, or teams that we would not be really paying attention to come up and actually take a little bit of shine. In the place of the Boston Celtics, we're seeing an unorthodox Heat team that we wouldn't necessarily be paying attention to. In the vein of I can't think of another specific example in the West, but my point is essentially simple. Players and teams that would usually be taking the spotlight right now, if not for these injuries, are getting an opportunity to shine right now and show what they're doing on the main stage. So it's an interesting opportunistic take. And for that reason, I think that the league is a little bit slow into investigating what's really going on because they're seeing who else. I'm sorry.
I'm just giving you time one.
Because in the especially with a LeBron injury, because in the vein of not being able to see what of usually who sells, you get to see who else can come up and demand that kind of attention from the fans.
All right, Dre, I'm going to stay with you for this next quick take.
Sure.
Is Detroit real?
I don't know. I've been really thinking about this for 2 years now. I really don't know. And here's the thing about Detroit. Yes, they have Cade Cunningham, who is a fantastic player. The team overall is getting better. They're learning how to size up and use their advantages. One of the biggest advantages actually of the Detroit Pistons is Durant. He is playing for real. He is real. And with Cade Cunningham being real and him being real, I don't know how far this team goes, but I'll tell you this: they have a real shot if they keep it together and continue to build the way they have been. They have a real shot of going pretty deep in the playoffs. How that compares to other teams in their conference, other teams in the league, especially in the East, how they go against the Cavs, how they go against the Knicks, I'm not sure, and that's what gives me pause about them. But if they're not real yet, they're going to be very soon.
Alan, is Detroit real?
I want to say yes, but if I'm being honest with you, I don't know. I can't tell why. I don't know how they're so good. Like I'm watching these highlights right now, and I was thinking to myself when we brought up this topic, like they don't even have many shooters on their team,
right?
And then when I watch them, they don't look like they play up and down really fast like that. So I haven't really sat down and watched them like that. So I'm very curious to see as to what their game plan is and why they're so good. One thing off the bat I know is obviously Cade Cunningham. He got way better in the pick and roll, way better passing it. I think his assists are up this year. He's more efficient. And I know Jalen Duren's numbers are crazy this year. He's averaging his field goal percentage is 66, something like that. So clearly they're doing something right. I don't know what makes them so good because their personnel don't show me that they're really great like that. They lost Tim Hardaway Jr. and they still have really good offense, it seems like.
And Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, they lost shooting. They lost really good players, and they're even better this year. So I want to watch them and really figure it out. I don't know why they're good, but they seem to be real.
Paul, is Detroit real?
What's your definition of real? That's the thing. Because, listen, I remember last year I said I respect them. If you really think about it, right, going off of Andre's point about other teams being able to get shine because there are teams that are kind of injury riddled right now with their best players and all of that. You got to understand, last year was the whole season for the Detroit was a discovery period for them to find out how can they actually play winning basketball, and they found it rather quickly, but they really found it going into the playoffs. This is just a continuation of what they were doing later in the year last year, right? Durant took a step forward. Cade been nice. You know what I mean? Cade been nice. He just has a winning team now. So I'm not surprised. They got Duncan Robinson, by the way, to replace Tim Hardaway. But yeah, but it's they're good. If you play good basketball in the NBA today, you're gonna be an over 500 team now. Parity is real. The only team that's really standing out is the Thunder in the whole league. So they play good basketball.
Detroit's only right behind them. Detroit is, I believe,
in the East.
Thunder's one loss.
In the East.
Not to mention they're missing Tobias Harris and Jaden Ivey most of the season.
Right.
But see, that's what I said last year. But last year, when Jaden Ivey went down, they figured out. You see, they look. They went to OT with the Wizards. You know what I mean?
Right. That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
It's a hard thing to say.
Last year, Jaden Ivey, when he went down, it clarified the roles for everybody else on the team, especially Cade. So
a lot of people were injured that game, though. That I remember because that's the game Cade went off. Missed a lot of shots.
Yeah.
I think they were missing a lot of players that game, though.
Yeah, I just think that they're like continuing what they did late in the year last year. Like late, if they started off like how they played in the second half of the year, the whole year, then you might see something close to what they're doing right now last year. So I mean, we'll see. The real question is, will Jalen Durant play this in the playoffs? That's the
Let's
real
leave it
question.
there. Let's leave it there. Indeed. Another team in the East that I brought up last week that I said, once they get healthy, this team should be better. Toronto, fellas, is Toronto turning up? Paul, stick with you.
Listen, man, Toronto. I'm not gonna say they're for real, but they're doing what they're supposed to do as a young team. You know what I mean? Like at a certain point, you got to start winning games and playing good. Like I said, if you play the right way in the NBA today, you're going to be not just 500, you're going to be over 500. And they've had the talent. They just had to figure out their roles, right? So RJ Barrett, you know how I feel about him. Quickly, you know how I feel about him. Scotty Barnes, I know how y'all feel about him. So they're playing good basketball. It's early. It is early, though. So let's calm down. They're still a very young team. They have pieces to be a good team, but let's see how well they really get it together. That's all I'm going to say about it. Because they haven't beat any like great teams yet, right? So,
Alan, is Toronto turning up?
Actually,
Alan, is Toronto turning up?
At one point,
I don't know. It's hard for me to say because one, I kind of like the makeup of the team with a lot of length and a lot of taller people. I think it's going to help them in like the defensive side of things. I don't know if they're turning up. Sometimes I see plays from them when I'm watching highlights that I'm just like, a lot of contested shots are going in sometimes, but overall, man, like I don't know if I believe in Scotty Barnes to make the right plays. Again, I don't watch the Raptors nearly enough to really have a strong assessment on that. I haven't watched the Raptors game this season yet. But like it's hard to say. I don't like what is this team? What's their identity? Honestly, like what is their identity? I see like the players that they have. I don't know if everyone's going to stick to them. Is going to stick on the roster this season. But like I'm not sure what the identity of the team is supposed to be. So it's really hard for me to say like if they're turning up right now for sure. Their record is good. Again, I'm with Paul. Like I want to see if they beat a lot of good teams yet. But I'm not so sure where this team's going to be in mid-January.
I got a question for you, Farrell. Is Brandon Ingram reminding people who he is?
Yes. For context, the Raptors have won 10 of their last 11, beating Cleveland, Memphis, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Brooklyn, Cleveland again, Indiana, Charlotte, Philly, and Washington.
Philly might be the most impressive.
They also have wins against
Philly being the most impressive. Are you crazy?
They also have wins against Sacramento, Boston, and Washington again. They lost to Denver in the season opener only by 4 points. They've lost to Boston by 2 points. They've lost to Milwaukee. They've lost, unfortunately, to Dallas. I think everyone was hurt. And they got blown out by San Antonio and Houston.
But is Brandon Ingram reminding everybody of who he is? I asked you that, Farrell.
I believe so. Hey, listen, I'm just hoster in this segment. Dre, you want to answer the question?
Yes. He's reminding people that he's the other KD. And that's what the identity is. That's what the identity of. Listen, you don't want to hear it. That's the identity of this team. They have the other guys, all right? They have the other version of Zubac. They have the fake version of like a mini Andre Iguodala and RJ Barrett. They have a fake KD over there. They even have their own fake Tyler Hero. Okay, these are the other guys. And if you keep playing around with them, they might do something to you. Now, here's the thing that people got to understand.
He's shooting awful from three, though.
They are shooting dead awful from three. They even have a fake Scott.
I don't know about the team. I'm talking about Ingram specifically. But other than that, he's playing good.
They even got a fake cat over there in the form of Scotty Barnes. Okay, let me tell you something.
No.
These are the other guys. Okay, these are the other guys. The other brothers that you don't think about. That's them. But let me tell you this also. I am impressed by the fact that they beat Cleveland not once but twice. Someone has the hair dryer in the background.
Hey, brother, we're getting a lot of interference. You got to tell whoever's doing that to not do that.
Wait, what happened?
We're getting mad interference right now. Stopping my heated, passionate take. Anyway.
Paul, is that you?
Do you still hear it?
Yes.
Who just started sweeping their house?
That's definitely you, Paul.
That's Paul. Someone's running the vacuum.
I just moved my mic a little bit, so I don't know if that's what it was.
I don't know what's going on.
You still hear it?
No, we're good.
Okay, all right, yeah. I just moved my mic.
Well, I kind of took out the heat of what I was saying. The point is, damn it. All right, hold on. Where'd I leave off? Pharaoh.
You were violating the Raptors. They call them fake KDs. The other brothers.
Listen, Brandon Ingram's averaging 21 points on 50% from the field. Scotty Barnes is putting in 20 points on 50% from the field. And you got Quickly putting in 15 points as well. RJ Barrett putting in 20 points. You got 3 guys averaging 20 points on your team.
Yes. And they're number 2 in the East. They're beating Cleveland twice, which is the most impressive to me. I haven't seen them play the Knicks yet. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't seen them play the Thunder yet. Let's see how that goes. They lost the Nuggets in the season opener, and I expect that the next time they see the Nuggets, they're probably going to lose again. It's a similar thing to what we were saying before about the Rockets, how they're beating up on teams that are not as good as them, which happens early on. That's not an abnormality.
But can I make a point about that? I want you to elaborate.
Sure.
Is it does not the sign of a good team beating the teams they should that they're separating themselves from these middle of the pack? Because there's only 2 to 4 teams that are absolutely garbage that are the bottom of the league, right? If you're winning 10 out of 11, that means you're just beating everyone else who's in the middle and separating yourself from the middle. Right. So could we not? So Houston, we're not talking contender talk right now, right? Like Houston and Toronto, people say Houston's a contender, but they've lost all the contenders, and Toronto hasn't played too many contenders yet. But in terms of when I say real or turning up, like they're separating themselves. Like what I mean is Toronto turning up is Toronto establishing that they're one of the top teams in the East that's going to be dealt with in the playoffs. We don't have to go take it to contender,
right? No, sure.
Like if you look at 4 through 6 in the East, Toronto is above all those teams. Toronto's looking like they're going to be a 3rd seed in the East potentially. Is that what we're saying?
I see them being either 3rd or 4th, and that's why I was saying how they're playing against Cleveland is the most impressive, and the fact that they beat them twice, because Cleveland right now is a real. I know the standings don't look like it, so NBA fans don't, Fast Break fam, don't crucify me here. Because Cleveland and Knicks are looking at 4 and 5, but it's not going to stay that way. Those are the top 2 teams in the East, whether or not the standings look like that. So to me, the fact that they are taking out the Cavaliers twice, I got to see how they play against the Thunder. I got to see how they play against the Knicks. But yeah, I could say they're turning up for real. I really can. Because the difference between them and the Rockets is they've at least beat a real team. Twice, by the way.
All right. Let's leave it there.
Why is Cleveland not a real team?
Let's come back to that. Let's pin that. We'll come back to that. Keeping going with our quick fire takes. A certain 40-year-old player returned to NBA action the other night. Andre, give me your reaction to LeBron.
I don't give a damn.
You don't care.
I don't give a damn.
23 seasons. Let me just intro it first. Starting in the 23rd season in the NBA. Had a slight double-double, 11 points and 12 assists, and the Lakers got 140-126 victory over the Jazz. What did you make of LeBron and his return?
I didn't make a damn thing. Let me tell you something. The Lakers need to be beating out the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz are a high school basketball team.
We won 140-126, but carry on.
Oh my God. The Utah Jazz are a high school basketball team, and I refuse to take it back. LeBron didn't exactly play like LeBron. He didn't give you everything you expected. It's year 23. I don't know. I've said it before. I don't know if the Lakers need him continuing. I think he finds ways to be effective. But, you know, I'm not going to make something bigger of it than it is. They beat a team they were – if LeBron did not show up, I don't think the score changes. If LeBron was not there, I don't think the score changes. So I respect him. I think he's one of the greatest players of all time. But, you know, listen, he's just having fun right now, man, and that's okay.
Alan, what did you make? We don't have to talk about the Lakers overall. Just what did you make of LeBron in his first game of year 23?
That game was hard to judge off. It wasn't like the LeBron like we know. It was hard to judge the game, honestly. I gotta see him 3, 4, 5 games from now because he barely took any shots. I think I don't know when his first shot came, but what he did well, I think he moved the ball really well. He did some screens really well. Was able to he kept the ball movement going, and I think that was really valuable for the Lakers. But overall, it wasn't like a really regular LeBron game. He wasn't. I don't know if he was just trying to fit into like a role. Wanted to keep going with what Luka and Reeves had going on. But his defense wasn't great. But again, he's 42 or 41, and he's coming off of sciatica.
41 in December.
And from everything I hear about sciatica, it's not fun to deal with.
This is what I'm talking about. This man's just having fun.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. Everything from what I hear, sciatica is not fun to deal with. So I'm sure that was tough coming back in the first game. It probably explains why his defense was kind of bad. But again, he moved the ball really well. So I think that's really good for the Lakers. But we'll see a week or two from now, we can really judge him better.
Paul, what'd you make of year 23 LeBron?
I mean, all right. I agree with Alan. I agree somewhat with Andre.
He wants to agree with me so bad.
Not to that level. You were so bad. You were wilding. But
what am I? I'm the hot take specialist. That's why.
He did good things overall, man.
No, come on, quick takes.
Yeah.
Quick takes.
I'll be real quick.
Dre, quick takes. Let's all go.
Yeah, it's the Jazz, right? Not much to see here. But what I will say is you say this is not the same LeBron or it's not this could very well be the LeBron you see going forward. And if that is the LeBron you see going forward, the Lakers are still very dangerous because that means that he's not taking away from Luka and Austin Reeves, which is what we were talking about all episode last week.
Thank you, Paul.
So it could very well, like, he is 41. Like, this could be the LeBron.
Keeps up.
This could be the LeBron we see. Like, Luka might be the one taking over and Austin Reeves in them, and then, you know. But again, like, I do want to see them against a better team, though, to really, really judge. You know, outside of that, not much to talk about.
I want to just go on this last quick take just to say a quick thing. Paul, I'm going to ask you a question because I described something that I believed that I was going to see out of LeBron James with this team, with his basketball mind. We had a whole conversation about ego and how people can play in order to make teams work. And I said that LeBron would be a certain build. After that game on the Jazz, if you had to give a build name to how LeBron played in that game, what would the build be? Would it be two-way stretch four playmaker?
No.
Not at all.
He didn't play like a two-way stretch four playmaker in that game?
Not at all.
Forward. Straight up. That's it.
Point forward, correct. That's correct.
What was it?
Of Magic Johnson and Jason.
Pass first, point forward.
Yes.
He didn't hit 3 threes?
I don't care. Against a bullcrap team that nobody cares about.
Look at this play right here. He just played.
He's having fun.
I just love that you all had the idea that LeBron could not humble himself and come back and be a ball mover and be a souped up Draymond Green, which is exactly what I said he could do to make this team successful. And he comes out in the first. We can run the tape back, and he comes out in the first game and he plays exactly like that. 12 assists, ball mover, stretch playmaker. What did he give them? Fast break offense, pace, downhill pressure on the rim.
Against the Utah Jazz. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not talking about the merit of it. You guys are missing the forest for the trees.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
I'm just
You're
talking
not-
about play style.
Let me tell you,
play style is indicative. Hold on, real quick, Andre. One sentence.
I mean,
his play style is indicative of the team that he's played against.
Correct.
Does Luka ever? No. We're not. I'm not gonna get.
Okay,
into
all right.
That's what you guys want to be on.
Okay.
If that's what you want to be on, if you want to deny that we had an exact conversation and preview of how he was gonna play, and he came out and played exactly like how some of us said, and not how like some of y'all said, then we can leave it. We don't have to.
No, but it's game 1 and it's against the Jazz.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, I was on your side.
I know.
Just remember that. I'm saying we got a seat. Like you talking hot right now. It's early.
I'm not even talking about merit. I'm literally just saying, from a basketball analysis perspective, some of us had a take of analyzing how this man would play in this current team, and I just find it hilarious that we're gonna come back after that game and not address that. That's exactly how he played. And we're just going to talk about, I'm surprised LeBron wasn't LeBron and yada, yada, yada. And let's see him do it against a good team. Let's see what happens. Like, no, how about basketball analysis-wise, how about the fact that LeBron James came in and looked at the team and played exactly how we said would be a beneficial way to play and didn't come to try to assert himself. The offense didn't look muddy. It didn't look like, they're trying to fit him in and we don't know how to work with LeBron. No, he came in and did exactly what we said would work.
You know what the funniest part about this is? Can I say this? The funniest part about this conversation is we're not even going to know for a couple of days, probably at least a week. I'm going through their schedule right now. You know who their next competition is? They go against the Jazz They go against the Dallas Mavericks. They go against the Pelicans. I don't give a damn about these teams. I need to see them. You know what's going to happen? LeBron's
we're not talking about contender. I'm just talking about how they play.
No, Pharaoh.
I'm talking about a defensive scheme where LeBron James can do whatever he wants, but against a real defensive team that knows actually how to play basketball.
But isn't that even more indicative? Because if he could have did whatever he wanted, also Luka could. Isn't there potential for clash? How about the fact that against a lowly team, instead of trying to shoot his way into rhythm, he came out and passed?
He was never like that.
It's not like that. And you know it's not
he was never like that.
It's not like that. You know how I know it's not like that? Because let's dumb it down to when we're playing 2K and you and I we're doing whatever we want against a bum team. There's never a clash. Anytime there's a clash is when we're going against somebody.
That's not true.
We don't clash against bum teams, and they're not going to clash against bum teams either.
Dre, we notoriously lose to teams we shouldn't have because roles get clashed. Let's not do this. Not me and you.
I'm talking about me and you. We've only ever clashed against.
But that's not a good analogy.
It's a great analogy. You know why? We're talking about the two best scorers on a team.
Okay, look. If we hold on, if we go Luka, Austin, and LeBron, me and you don't cover all three of those. There's a Austin on our team.
All right. So
and is there not an issue when it's time to eat? When everyone can eat, does an Austin of our team not cause issues?
No, not against bum teams.
Not
against bum teams.
Andre is a very mixy individual.
Yes, he is.
Not against bum teams, man.
Let's leave it there. It's a quick take. Let's leave it there because we have two. We have a debate and we have a tribute we want to get to.
Yes.
So I'm gonna play some audio. I want you guys to react to it.
False tight with me.
You see, you be mixing again. Go off screen, man. Let the man produce. You don't see this man is producing right now.
My fault,
you love the drama and the hot takes.
My fault, gang. My fault, boss.
Yo.
You done messed me up now.
You see? Come on, man.
Listen, I gotta keep the people entertained. You feel me?
Who's the next? Wait. Who's the next good team that the Lakers?
We won't know for at least a week.
Who is it though?
I don't know. I literally want a week out. I didn't see him play one real team.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Let's see. I'm now on December 4th. The next time they play a good team is December 4th. They play against Toronto.
That's the team?
Yes. That's the next good team they play.
All right, I'll say this. It'll be a little bit of a test because they're going to apply a little pressure offensively. So that's going to be a little bit of a test. And that's where they're going to see which LeBron, because he's going to be playing for 2 weeks at that point. So at that point, we're going to see if LeBron is going to continue to play in that same play style, because that's the key. That's the key with LeBron, because he says one thing. He says Anthony Davis is going to be the guy, and then he takes over every fourth quarter against a good team. So that's the thing with LeBron. So we shall see.
I mean, if they make it into the Emirates Cup, we'll really see what's going on.
That's it. Do we care about the NBA Cup on this podcast?
How many times are they going to beat up on the Jazz?
I like the NBA Cup.
I like it too, but we don't talk about it a lot.
That's a fact. Yeah. We don't respect it.
That's what I'm asking.
We don't respect it. This would be great in the exhibition game to start the season off, immediate tournament. But having it like month 2, month 3, I don't know if I care too much about it.
It's pretty much at the start of the season.
Yeah, but it's like we got real games, we got not real games happen. I don't know, man.
No, they're all real games. They all count through the season except the final game.
Right.
Look at who makes the final. Who's been making the final? It's people who's in the real finals.
Yeah.
Pacers. You understand? Who else? Who made
the Lakers? Made it one year. They didn't make it to the finals.
The Thunder lost it last year. They lost to the finals last year. No, to the Bucks, wasn't it last year?
So did the Pacers make it the year before?
Yeah.
All right, I got it. Yeah. Let's hear this clip, and y'all let me know what y'all think of these comments.
I don't know if I was ready for that or if I was ready to, handle that, right off the bat. I tried my best, and I mean, that's not to say I can't go back to it and, can't work on it and get better, but I think it's just worked out lately where it's been better to have somebody else, helping out relieving pressure. It's not that I can't bring it up and initiate offense, but just to have somebody in there to, help relieve that. A lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility that comes with being a point guard. I don't know if I was ready for that.
He's too young to be talking like that.
No, a lot of pressure and responsibility that comes with being a point guard. He doesn't know if he was ready for that. Fellas, why do NBA and this is our debate segment, why do NBA coaches try to make point guards out of natural off-ball players, i.e. the latest installations, Cooper Flagg and Amen Thompson? Before that, you had Giannis, Russ, and Harden. I used to put Luka in that category. One of the greatest of all time? Hold on, let me land the topic, brother.
Oh, that's crazy.
I used to put Luka in that category, but I've since changed my mind on that because I do see now that he does like to attack from the top. The only thing is he should not be defending from the top at all. But these other players who their natural attack styles are not top of key, but don't necessarily need to be ball in their hands players. Why are NBA coaches trying to make point guards out of all these players? Open to forum debate. Go.
Okay, well, let's start here. At the scene of the crime, I see the same two culprits, or I see the same culprit.
Talk about it.
Jason Kidd, what the hell are you doing? Not just because you were a great point guard doesn't mean you need to make everybody a great damn point guard. Let people be great on their own. Utilize their skill set in a way that makes sense to them. If he was still in Milwaukee, Giannis would not be Giannis. I'm just going to say that straight up. He would have Giannis playing like a quasi Magic Johnson that never gets off the ground. Doesn't make any damn sense. You have an unstoppable force. Cooper Flagg comes in being able to shoot the ball, attack from the wing, and be really dynamic at that level. You don't need him to be a point guard. Also, on a team like the Mavericks, where you have real point guards, why is he even doing this? That doesn't even make any damn sense. Let him be in a position to do what he does best. And what is that? Score the basketball. It doesn't make any logical sense for me. And I can understand and I can appreciate it. Honestly, I know you might say like, oh, he's too young to be talking like that, but it's a sense of awareness almost. And he's doing it in a low-key, very humble way, putting it on himself. But in reality, anybody that's in his camp, his parents, people who work with him should be looking at Jason Kidd and be like, brother, what are you doing? Because that's what I'm looking at right now and saying. It doesn't make any kind of sense. You're taking the strength out of it. He doesn't need to figure that part out. What he needs to figure out is how to be effective, know his spots, and be able to take advantage of the offense without running the offense. He can be a KD. He can be a Giannis. He doesn't have to be Jason Kidd.
Just listening to those comments, to me, I think he was just, I don't believe him saying that, like, I'm not ready for it. Like even if he felt that way, I think NBA players say that in a different way. I think he was just trying to signal to Jason Kidd that he don't want to do this. Right. He's trying not to say that. So that's what that sounded like to me personally.
Right.
Well, why doesn't he want to?
He probably has no interest. He probably thinks it doesn't suit his strengths, and you know,
which is what he said.
Yeah,
which is what he said.
Yeah. The question is like, why are NBA coaches doing this? And you named a lot of good examples. I don't know why they still do it. I think it's an overemphasis, or at least it was overemphasis. All those guys that you named, they kind of came up in like the 10, 12 years ago league where, like, if I remember, it was just heavy pick and roll. So I think back then there was a lot of emphasis on your best player having the ball to start at the top, and then the pick and roll was how you got your offense going. So I guess a lot of the best players, the coaches put the ball in their hand at the top. And I think it's just the remnants of that, because now the league is very much dribble hands off, and a lot of players start from the side.
Right.
I don't know why coaches are still doing it, namely Jason Kidd. The Mavs, the roster is not great right now. Kyrie Irving's out. D'Lo is not playing well at all. So it's kind of like a short-lived experiment. I doubt we're going to see it again. Another thing, though, like, you don't have to play point guard the whole time. You could just teach them a little bit of point guard skills, because I think it's valuable when you have a guy with length and size like Cooper Flag to be able to just grab the ball off rebound and take it down the court if you want to play fast like that. I think that's valuable. I think we saw that with Giannis, and look what he turned into. But you don't have to play point guard the whole game. We saw it with Russ. That was a big thing with Russ. He would grab a rebound. When Russ was winning MVPs and really going crazy with his triple-doubles in OKC, he would grab the rebound and just go. So I think point guard skills like that have been valuable. But, yeah, I agree. Like, you don't have to change a guy into a point guard for the whole game, because, I don't know, we're taking away from other skills. Giannis just said last week when we played the Mavs that, like, he didn't develop a jump shot because Jason Kidd had him playing point guard and wanted to play pick and rolls and just go dunk the ball every time. So who knows what we could have saw with Giannis if he developed like a post game or a jump shot or anything like that.
Some catch and shoot skills.
Catch and shoot skills, yeah. Face up skills.
Come on, man. These guys don't need the ball in their hands, man.
Listen. First of all, Cooper Flag is too. Who are you? You are 12 games.
I'm the number one pick.
Comment?
You said what?
You took that as an egotistical comment?
He might be right, but you don't. Who are you though?
A player in control of my career, bro.
He's a face of the franchise. Face of the franchise.
There are players saying that he probably gonna be a boss. Who are you in the NBA? You play 12 games.
But Paul, why are they saying that? Because you playing me at point guard.
No, that's not why. That's not why. They said it before he dribbled the ball in the NBA in a regular season game.
But now you have me playing into that narrative because you had me playing at a position that you did not draft me to play.
That's a really good point.
You didn't draft me to play this, so now
you don't go to the media with that. Who are you? You don't do that.
A question.
You said what?
He's answering a question. If I get asked how do you feel about playing point, if he gets asked how do you feel about playing point guard, and let's give context to the clip. The clip comes after he had a career high when he got put back to power forward, and he had 29 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And they said, "Hey, what was the difference in you feeling like you comfortable playing this way as power forward versus point guard?" How am I supposed to answer that? After I eat, when I get played in my natural position, and you ask me what was the difference here in playing power forward versus playing point guard, what am I supposed to say?
Is that what they asked? What's the difference?
Yes. What am I supposed to say to that question?
You're supposed to say it is my more natural position, but like I said, I just got here. I'm open to learning, and seeing.
He said that. That's what he said.
I'm calling BS.
Yeah, that's not what he said.
I'm calling BS. You know why Paul feels like this? Because Paul feels like the highest level of basketball as a point guard. If you're going to be great, you should have this.
Don't say what I think. in during my take. Nah, don't do that. Listen. This guy.
You don't
This
respect.
guy.
You don't respect. Hold on. You don't.
Nah, don't. Nah. Let me talk.
You don't.
Nah. Forget all that. Nah. I think I'm gonna tell you what I think. All right. Listen. I don't want to make a big deal about this.
Fix your mic while you're doing that.
Hey, stop talking.
Fix your mic.
Moderator, host, mute that man.
Fix your mic, brother.
Listen.
I'm just trying to help you out.
All I'm saying, right, when it comes to this is you don't.
Second favor, back up.
All I'm saying is that he shouldn't say that to the media, right? The sentiments of what he's saying, I don't necessarily disagree with. We just don't know because you play 10 games in the league. What if by game 70 you're looking more like a point guard? Who knows? We don't know. He don't know. He just got there. You don't say that to the media. Number one. Number two, the reason, Farrell, to answer your question directly, if you can hear me, the reason that coaches are doing this is because the point guard position is no longer what it used to be. The point guard, I hope he's hearing me. The point, because I said I have a lot to say on this. The point guard position has been devalued, not to the level of the center position, but it's on its way there. Who is the point guard on the Nuggets?
Jokic.
Who is the point guard on the Timberwolves?
That's a great question, actually.
You know who it is?
Conley.
You know who, Alan? Say that? Anthony Edwards is the point guard.
Edwards is not the point guard.
Yes, he is. We've heard Farrell. Wait, can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
No, you got to fix your mic.
I can hear you. It don't sound great. It don't sound great, but we can hear you.
You got to do something else.
Now
you're not sounding.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you the whole time. It just didn't sound good.
It sound better now?
No.
You could talk, brother. It's not going.
That's weird. But anyway.
Oh, that sounded great. Whatever you just did. Do it again.
When you move your mic a little bit to the
It's a wire. It's a wire.
Going.
All right, it's a wire. Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I gotta change as well. Listen, man. The point guard on the Timberwolves is Ant. The point guard on the Nuggets is Jokic. The point guard.
No, it's not. I'm not gonna sit here and let you lie to our audience. No, it's not.
See, here we go.
You just said two lies. You just said two straight lies.
Yeah, all right. The best player in the NBA. Let's get to it. The best player on the NBA team is usually the point guard.
Giannis
is not.
Giannis is not a point guard.
They're
Giannis
is making all the decisions that's setting people up. Right? They might not take you down the court.
Doesn't make you a point guard.
In today's league, it does.
No, it doesn't.
You don't want it to be like that, but that's what it is.
It's not.
Aren't they training Ant to be more of a point guard? And he's a shooting guard? There's a reason for that. The best player is the one that makes everybody better.
That's incorrect.
That's incorrect.
You know what? You know who I blame for that dumb narrative? It's LeBron's fault. You know why? Because that's how he played. And people are like, this is what it takes to be. The best player historically has been Kobe, has been MJ. Guys that make things happen. You don't got to be the playmaker doing everything to make everybody better. Nah, you got to be the one that's delivering at the end of the game. And
you all are using phrases that don't define point guard, though, is my issue.
What are you talking about?
It's position on the court. Again, remember, the term position is a literal term. Your basketball position is the position on the floor where you play. So point guard plays at the top. They attack from top, initiate from top, and defend top. The point of the offense, the point of the defense. That is what a point guard is. None of the guys you just named do that.
Correct.
I don't care about usage percentage. Usage percentage does not make you a point guard. It doesn't. We can't hear you, Paul.
Can't hear you at all.
Alan, what do you think about that? I've drawn this distinction before. Usage percentage does not make you a point guard. Having the ball in your hands most of the time does not mean you're the point guard. It doesn't mean you're initiating offense. It doesn't mean you're the primary ball handler, the primary playmaker.
Farrell.
None of those guys you named are the primary ball handlers on their team. They're not.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, Farrell. Wait. What else outside of position on the court that they attack from defensive point guard?
Primary ball handler.
Primary ball. So as long as you're handling the ball, no matter if you're supposed to be setting people up or not, it don't matter. It just matters.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. We have to distinguish. We have to distinguish usage versus primary ball handler. Primary ball handler. Here's the easiest way to define it. If a team presses, who are you giving it to?
If a team presses,
yeah, who are you giving it to?
You got to give it to whoever gets open if they pressing.
Incorrect, coach. You give it to your primary ball handler to break down the press.
Him, then you can't give it to him anyway. What type of press are we talking about?
You set up action to get the ball into the hands of your primary ball handler.
If it don't go to him, then who are you giving it to? Sometimes you got to throw it to the middle of the court.
Okay, but you're naming adjustments to a scenario. I'm saying, what's the plan? What's the first plan if there's a press?
Okay, yes, to get it to your
primary ball handler. So the person who that is, that's your primary ball handler, which is your point guard.
So is that the only
That's the second thing I've given you. Position on the court, primary ball handler.
That's it.
And I would say the person who arranges folks on the court. Not even necessarily because they're going to be the one making the pass, but the person who arranges people on the court, the architect.
Interesting.
The on-floor architect of the offense.
I will make but in today's league, all those three things can be three different people.
Because there's no point guards in the NBA. Thank you, Alan.
That's what Paul's point. When you're gone, that's basically
no. That's not his point. That's not his point. His point is that he's changing the definition of point guard, and I'm saying no, it doesn't change. There just are none.
Listen, you could say what you want. You can say what you
the same conclusion, but different formulas. Like that.
Right.
I would say that Luka is a point guard. He just doesn't defend the point of the defense. That's the only thing that doesn't make him a point guard. But watching Luka play every day now, Luka is a point guard. He is the architect. He is the primary ball handler, and he is the arranger on the floor.
I would make an argument that this comment right here is usually the best player on the team, and this
That's not true.
Usually,
no, it's not.
100%.
No, it's not.
2025, yes.
It's not historically true either. It's not even true right now.
It's not even true right now.
We're the top 5 players in the league.
Do you know who breaks rake from coach the quickest on the team?
The star player.
You know who the first player is to say we not doing that on a team?
And those teams usually don't go anywhere, right? But the best teams, usually what's happening, the coach and the best player are like this.
That's not true. That's not
true. They are on accord. You can't tell me good teams and their coach and the best player and the coach are on one accord. You can't tell me that.
Being on an accord and being an extension of the coach on the floor are two different things. Okay, how many best players right now on the in the NBA do you say will when they don't have the ball in their hands correct another player's spacing?
When they don't have the ball in their hands?
When they don't have the ball in their hands. How many best players are going to correct another player's spacing when they don't have the ball in their hands?
Jokic and Giannis.
Jokic, LeBron. No,
Giannis ain't telling nobody where to go, bro. Stop.
I think
Giannis is not telling nobody where to go.
Giannis is 100% doing it now. Giannis
with the ball. Wait. With the ball out his hands.
With the ball out of his hands?
Yes.
I see him wave off people. Go that way. Go. I've seen him do it.
When you are the best player,
when he's not involved in the play, time out. When he's the screener, he definitely tells me where to clear out. So I'll give you that. Let's get super nuanced. Sure. When the play is not involving him, is Giannis telling anyone what to do?
When is the play not involving him, though? That's my whole point.
Oh, my God. Stop it. Stop.
When is the play not involving him? When he's on the court? Who's gonna take shots?
Here's the thing. I don't want to debate the nuances of each one of these elements because it's the combination of elements that make you a point guard. Could you be someone that directs people when the ball isn't in your hands? Yes. Could you be a primary ball handler? Yes. Could you attack from the top and defend from the top? Yes. Any player you name can be one of those things. You haven't given me a player who's all of those things. You haven't given me one.
And what I said was to start my take is that's the modern.
He's the closest.
This is the modern NBA.
I have a question to you though. Why do you say the modern NBA means a redefinition of positions, and the modern NBA just means playing without a point guard?
This sounds like semantics to me.
No, it isn't. It's a very specific thing. You're trying to tell me based on how they play now, this is who the point guard is. What if it is that the NBA today is playing without a point guard? We just went through the whole Houston Rockets lineup. I didn't see a point guard in the lineup. They got Kevin Durant playing the two.
Right. So now my question to you is that a bad thing?
That's not the debate though. The debate isn't whether it's good or bad. The debate is what are we looking at?
We're looking at teams, but my point is you don't need a point guard. That's
if you want to have it. Okay, no, Paul. I know that's your point, and we can get to that, but you have to then concede first that there's no point guards out here. But as long as you keep telling me these guys are point guards, we're gonna go back and forth. Now, if you want to debate whether a point guard is needed, we might agree more on that. We might agree, but you have to concede first. These guys are not point guards.
Hold on. Okay, this is good. You know what the difference between me and you is? The difference between me and you is the specific skill that defines a point guard the most. Because I agree. I
don't care about the most. You have to have it all.
No.
You have to have it all.
Hold on. There are some people.
Yes, I'm highlighting that comment. That is so accurate. What's happened to the point guard is what's happened to the running back in the NBA and the NFL. That's 100% accurate. That's 100% accurate. You have a few guys like a Saquon, who are still pure running backs and play the way. And you know what happened? That team won.
I think you're trying to make a point here, but anyway.
What did we say about Shea? Hold on, talking about winners. What did we say about Shea in the playoffs? What did he develop, and what did we see him begin to turn into?
What every elite player on a championship team has to do. Make his teammates better. Make better reads. Everyone. See, this is what I'm trying to say.
Where did they attack from?
Listen, man. Listen. This is why I'm saying it matters what's the most important.
Where I agree with attack from on the court.
Hold on. So wait, hold on. Yes, he attacks from top of the key. Right?
Where does he defend?
He defends a point.
Who's the primary ball handler on the Thunder?
Him.
And who is the organizer and orchestrator of the offense?
Him, but he scored first, by the way.
Point guard. I don't care. I don't care. Point guard does not have to be. You don't score.
You said Luka's a point guard? You said Luka's a point guard, right?
What about Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson is a point guard who hasn't learned how to balance his responsibilities that well yet.
He's doing it better this year. But yeah.
He's getting better, but that's the thing. Point guard doesn't automatically mean you're good at it.
No,
that's fair. Oh, Tyrese.
I'm being real. Tyrese Halliburton, another point guard in the NBA.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. But you said Luka's a point guard, right?
He's pretty much there. He's pretty much there. Yeah.
He's not guarding no point guards in the league.
I said that's the one thing that pulls me away from being a point guard for him, but he's pretty much there.
Irvin Magic Johnson was not guarding the point guard. It was Byron Scott.
Byron Scott would guard the lead guard, not necessarily the point guard.
Oh my!
The lead guard was
Thank you.
That's not true. In the 80s?
Pharaoh's dad.
In the
80s? Yes.
In the 80s, the lead guard was always the point guard. In the 80s and 90s.
Always. I didn't say always. I said generally.
We could go through the Lakers' opponents in playoff runs. You want to tell me the lead guard was the point guard on all those teams? Maybe. How many point guard great matchups did Magic were the Lakers in?
Now you're adding great to it.
Now great's different.
Lead guard. I mean the best guard. Byron Scott would guard the best guard.
Andre, you see the language you best? You said you notice I said the best player is usually the guy that's making the decisions on the court.
But you said Byron Scott guarded the point guard. I said Byron Scott would guard the best guard, who often was not the point guard. I'm disputing your point. I don't think Byron Scott automatically guarded the point guard. Byron Scott would guard whoever the best guard was.
Magic Johnson was too slow-footed to be guarding any point guard, most point guards.
If the best guard on the team was not the point guard, Magic Johnson was guarding the point guard.
Even if there's a big size mismatch and the guy's
yes.
Okay, I'll concede to the Lakers fan.
They didn't just put him down on the point guard. The point guard wasn't doing nothing. Yes, because Isaiah was the best. So yes, Magic did guard Isaiah. Isaiah was the best guard in the world.
Who was he guarding? Was he guarding Joe Dumars? Or was he guarding one of the forwards?
Ask the '80s Laker fan who Magic would guard.
Was he guarding Joe Dumars or was he guarding a forward? That's what I want to know. Because then your point, if he was guarding a forward, if he was guarding
you keep trying to nail each singular category and dispute who. Like, I'm saying it's the combination, and outside of Shea, Hallie, and Luka, no one's even coming close to being 3 out of the 4 of those things.
Luka don't fit all of the categories.
You don't have to have all of them. That's my point.
So this is what I'm saying, though.
It's the collective. It's the combination. No one other than those 3 players comes even close, and no one in the NBA has all 4 that I can think of.
I think you're conveniently
maybe Hallie, because Hallie does typically guard the point guard.
You're conveniently leaving out the person that sets the plays and makes plays for others. You're conveniently.
That's not what I said.
I know that's not what you said, and that's a problem to me because I think that's the most important trait of a point guard. And most of these players, the best player is doing that. That's why I'm saying. That's why Cooper Flag.
Hold on. Do you think? Wait. I have a question. Do you think if you are the person with the ball in your hands in a play, in an action, that means you're like running the action?
What's your responsibility with the ball in your hands?
It depends on the play.
It depends on the player.
No, it depends on the play. Because I can put the ball in your hands to score. No. Yeah. So even though the play starts with the ball in your hands, what is your responsibility? Is look one not score on many plays, especially the best players you're talking about, and that's NBA offense. Offense, they run plays for the person with the ball in their hand most times to score the ball.
To make a play.
No, I disagree.
If you make a move to score, and the help comes, what are you supposed to do?
That's an adjustment, though. That's not the play.
In plays,
that's a read.
There are first options and secondary options and tertiary options.
Yes, right? Okay. And a point guard often not. When a point guard runs a play, is it not is not the primary option to be making a pass in your world that you're describing?
First of all, we're going to talk about him. He's one of the greatest players of all time. There are many times where he made a play in crucial points in the game in the playoff positions to score.
Correct.
I think you're being too rigid with this title, and I think that's the issue.
What's interesting to me is just going by off like the qualifications that Rose said. It looks like in today's NBA, let's concede the point that there may not be any point guards or just a couple, a handful.
There's a handful.
It seems like the NBA today, you're either going to be a point guard on the offense or the defense, and not many guys can do both.
Correct.
That's where it feels like we're at today. And that is interesting.
And that's my point. Like, that's a great nuance to drive. And I think that detracts from the definition for me. Because if you are a point guard on offense and then come down to be a power forward on defense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Plus you don't have any of the other things. Like if you are a point guard on offense only from the standpoint of usage and play initiation, that doesn't make you a point guard to me. If you're not also the primary ball handler, if you don't also attack primarily from the top, you're just a high usage player. You're not a point guard. They call people point guards to create this conditioning amongst the team of who's going to have the ball in their hands in the half court the most.
Is Joker a point
guard? Because you know why? You know why? Because scoring today, this is the real change. Scoring today in the NBA comes primarily from high usage. That's the major change. Yeah. The major change is your best scorer on the team back in the day didn't have the highest usage. They got the ball and got to work.
Yeah.
They didn't do a bunch of dribbling. They got the ball in the wing and got to work. Today's high scorers have to have the ball in their hands. And so now we're calling them point guards. That is the difference.
Is Joker a point guard?
No, I would call him a point center. I'll give you that. He's not a guard. We're not gonna just throw guard like that's the other thing. He's not a guard. There's no world where Jokic is a guard. He's a point center.
So if we say he's the point,
I can live with that.
Okay.
But to bring it back to the topic, they didn't say we're going to try to turn Cooper Flag into a point forward, did they?
Yeah, that's a good point.
They said we're going to start him at point guard, and then the rest of their lineup exhibited that because he wasn't one of the forwards in the starting lineup. He started, and then they started a center and a power forward, meaning they want him to play guard, and that's the problem. That's my point. I don't care if you want to run your offense through your power forward. If he's your point forward, great. Put 2 guards on the floor. That's my point. You can't put a lineup out there of Cooper Flag, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and Klay Thompson. That is stupid.
First of all, you got 3 bigs out there.
That's what I'm saying. It's dumb. Because you're telling me, oh, Cooper's going to just play guard. What? That's not a guard. And that's what he's saying. He's like, yo, there's a responsibility and a pressure with being the guard, especially being the primary guard on the floor. That's not my game. I'm not a guard. I'm a forward. I can play point forward if you want. I can be a facilitator from the forward position. Put me on my position on the floor. I want to be a forward. I want to be at the foul line, on the block, maybe on the wing a little bit. And you want me to facilitate from there? Cool, I'll be a point forward. But don't have me bringing the ball up against pressure. Don't have me attacking from the top. That's not my game.
I'll say this. In defense of Jason Kidd, maybe he's doing it so that he could develop the ability to make reads. Because every great player needs to be able to do that. You need to be able.
This is what Gil and them said on the pod the other day. Then just tell him you want him to be a playmaker. Don't tell him he's playing point guard. You're telling him literally to play a different position on the floor, and that's what's messing him up. If you want the ball in his hands and you want him to make reads and be a playmaker, then just do that. You don't have to tell him we're starting, and you don't put a lineup out there where he's playing guard. Just tell him, hey, we're going to put 2 guards out there, but they're scoring guards. We're going to start Klay, and we're going to start the kid Ben. I think it's Ben something. Or whatever it is. But, hey, Cooper, from the forward position, from your natural position on the court, they're going to double you. We need you to make reads and make plays. What's so hard about that?
I understand, but I think a lot of it is semantics.
Has LeBron ever played lineups where you didn't put 2 guards on the floor?
Nah.
Never.
I still think a lot of this is semantics, though. I'm not going to hold you.
Well,
because
let me ask y'all this.
still the same to an extent.
Has there been any? My bad, Paul. Are you
done?
done?
I'm done.
Same thing with Jokic, right? Does Jokic ever play without 2 guards on the floor?
No, he was at a guard.
Never. You would never do that. You would never do that.
Has there been anyone to successfully transition into a point guard position and actually play like traditional point guard? As you're talking about,
there is no traditional point guards. Even Russ, Russ will be the example.
No, I'm saying, has there ever been an example of that in the league that you remember?
You got to go back decades.
I would argue people would argue James Harden, but it didn't win. But that's largely because of Chris Paul's injury. But I would say that 2018 year, Harden played with another guard. They went and got another guard to play with him, and he played point guard between the 2 of them, and it was successful. But
you call James Harden a point guard in 2018?
Maybe.
With Chris Paul?
If I had to make an argument to answer Alan's question,
I think we probably have to go back decades because he's a traditional point guard too.
Well, okay, when I say traditional, I meant like fundamentally speaking, like Ro was saying, like attacking from the point, guarding the point, all that. It doesn't have to necessarily be like.
I mean, like
as first playmaker. This
is why I think we're conveniently, especially I think Pharaoh's conveniently trying to create like a narrative. Because even
it's not a narrative, it's what it is. It's just what it is.
The greatest point guard didn't even guard the point guard most of the time.
That's not true at all, bro. That's not
Magic
true.
Johnson was not guarding the point guard most of the time.
You're naming one element of the definition and saying because he doesn't meet that one, he's not a point guard. That's never my argument. My argument is not that you have to have all 4. My argument is that there's 4 to consider, and having one doesn't make you a point guard. In the same way that not having one doesn't make you not a point guard. We have to discuss the whole definition. We often only talk about one thing, either for or against. We have to have the full analysis. Is my point.
See, but the thing is. You don't want to rank the different traits. And I'm saying, how can you not? if you're making everybody on the team better, whether you're doing it from the top of the key, from the wing, wherever.
You put that in there. I didn't put making everyone better in there. I didn't put that in there.
I am. If you're setting people up to score, whether
but Paul, that's self-serving for you because that gets so many players into point guard when you put that in there.
Yeah, I know.
But again, you're putting that in there, and you're also saying, and it's the most important thing, and therefore all these guys are point guards. And I think you're ignoring all these other things that go with point guard. You're saying, no, this is the thing, and it's the most important thing, so we can apply this to all the best players. I think that's faulty. That's faulty.
The ball, and to what wiggle room are we willing to give the evolution of these?
The evolution of the game doesn't necessarily mean evolution of positions, and I think that's my problem. We want to change these positional terms to explain what we're seeing, but it's really easy to explain what we're seeing by just talking about the game and play style. We don't have to change players' positions to be able to explain what we're watching. Jokic, yes, typically we've never seen a point center before. That doesn't mean we now have to change our mind of what a point guard is to explain Jokic. We can explain Jokic. He's a point center.
You have to change what a center is in your mind, though. You do have to do that.
Wait. Hold on.
You do.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
And here's where I think we're missing the forest for the trees. They're getting away from the point a tiny bit because we're talking so much about the point guard, but the point was about Coop. And the fact is, Coop doesn't have to be a point guard to be effective in this league. There are a number of number one options in this league. There are a number of players in the top 5 who are not. In fact, I can't think of anyone in the top 5 except for Luka who actually plays like a traditional point guard.
Luka don't play like a traditional.
Oh, if you put traditional on it, that's different.
Yeah,
but Shea, I would argue Shea is a point guard. He's turned into a point guard before our eyes. He's a point guard.
Okay. But he's also 6'5", right?
Yeah, height doesn't matter to me.
No, I know, but I'm saying
I never put height in the definition.
I'm saying Coop came in as a 6'10" scorer, and now you want him to be something else.
He's a forward. We have to be specific. He's a forward. That means something.
That's exactly right. But that's my point. That is exactly my point. Why does he have to take on this extra responsibility? Like, we don't have options in the league that we can point to and be like, they didn't have to change.
Wait, I got it. Paul, here's what's gonna make it clear for you. Ready? For me, I look at the position point guard, and I see two. There's each word means something independent, right? So I think we're arguing about point, and I think a lot of players can play point, right? The part that I'm harping on is the guard part. I don't think point is exclusive to point guard. I think any position can be your point, right? Jokic is a point. Luka is a point. Shea is a point. My thing is when you add guard there, that addition means additional things on top of point. And while Cooper can maybe be a point one day in this league, he will never be a point guard. He's not a guard. And so, Alan, to answer your question, I think a lot of players have become points, but I don't think I can name a forward or a center that one day woke up and was a guard.
Okay, I agree with that.
So what do you have to do to be a guard? Explain that to people.
Position on the court.
Position on the court, where you attack from.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
Maybe that clarifies it. Yeah, point guards, you could be point from somewhere else on the floor. Sure. But you can't just become a guard. There's skill, primary ball handler. That's a guard's role. So when Cooper says there's a lot of responsibility and roles that come with being a point guard, I don't even think he's talking about playmaking.
I think
he's talking about all the stuff that the guard on the floor has to do.
No.
I don't want to be a guard. If they press, why are you giving it to me to bring it up? I don't want to be a guard. If we have to do a dribble offense and do dribble handoffs, I don't want to be the dribbler. I want to be the guy handing it off and rolling. I don't want to be the guard. Why are you telling me to be the guard? I want to be a forward.
Anytime I hear this discussion in basketball spaces, it usually comes down to the playmaking aspect. That's why I said that's
people are wrong about that. That's why I want to clarify, because that's what the trap we fell into, which is why what Dre said and what Alan's question has helped me finally maybe find the clarification for what I'm saying. Point guard to me is a two-edged sword position designation. It means you're playing point, but also you're playing guard. And I think a lot of that's the problem. You can turn people in other positions into points. AD under JJ, we said we're going to run the offense through him. We tried to turn him into a point forward. LeBron has been a point forward his whole career. You can play point, but that doesn't mean we have to change your position.
That's fair. No, I agree with that.
Stop trying to turn these forwards into guards.
I agree with that.
It's just unnecessary.
When we go to Russ and Harden, I think it is the point part that we're talking about. They're both guards. I think they should never been points. So for those people, that is the debate we're having. But for these other people, no, the debate we're having is the guard part. Why the hell are you making Cooper Flag a guard? That's stupid.
It's silly.
Russ is one of the greatest point guards ever. I don't know, man. You say
He's
this
one of the
a
greatest guards ever.
All right. Okay.
Say it one more time.
He said Russ is one of the greatest guards ever.
He's a top 3 point guard as well. Don't forget that, brother. Don't forget that.
Speaking of great point guards, let's end this with listen, at the end of the season, we can do debates about Chris Paul and his career and anything. Let's just give him some flowers now. Just give me your feelings about Chris Paul's, what has Chris Paul meant to the league? What has he meant to our lives? He was the point guard of our generation. Again, without debating where he stands and his legacy and all that stuff, just tell me what you remember about Chris Paul and his career.
Man,
let's start with Dre.
Those LA Clippers days were fun. I will never forgive the league for not letting him team up with Kobe. Ever.
We're gonna talk about that one day. Don't
ever.
Please.
Ever in life. I will never forgive them.
At the end of the season, we're gonna have a Chris Paul episode, and we're gonna get into that.
Let me tell you something. Chris Paul, especially being 6 foot tall, maybe really 5'11", the way that he impacted
Sorry.
Man, man, let me tell you something. I used to love watching Chris
primary ball handler stuff right there. Top of the key attacking.
Watching Chris Paul, I realized I could never be a real point guard. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. I love Chris Paul, man. I love watching him. I love the things he did to the game. I love the fact that he just there's one outstanding thing I don't want to talk about that's missing from Chris Paul's resume, but he's got everything else, man. He's got everything else. I'm sad to see him go. I'm grateful for his time here. He created a lot of fun highlights. He is to this day probably the smartest basketball player I've ever seen in my life, and nobody talks about that enough. So thank you, Chris Paul. We are going to miss you. Oh, last thing, only because you just put the thunder on there. The fact that he also taught a lot of the greats today how to play ball.
He's got a lot of children.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Chris Paul, man, he's one of them ones, for real. For real.
Alan, what do you want to talk about Chris Paul?
Yeah, man. Like, I remember I used to watch Chris Paul on YouTube for such a long time when I was a kid. I used to be just at the computer watching him and other guys, but a lot of him. There's like something that Andre said, just him being like 6 foot and be able to do all the things that
5'11" for real, 5'10" for real. I stood next to him.
Honestly, like that's amazing. One thing that that sticks out with Chris Paul is just leadership and basketball IQ. My earliest memories of Chris Paul was back in New Orleans, watching him do the pick and roll, pick and pop with David West. And I remember thinking like how good of a player he was. He was finishing top threes and MVPs.
Real quick, that's what happened. That's what would happen if Jokic played guard. But carry on.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, man. But I'm gonna miss him when he retires at the end of the year. He may have been one of these cases that he played just a little bit too long, only because I feel like it may just affect his legacy and how the kids remember him. Not that that matters all the way, but it's something to be said about that. But overall, incredible player, just amazing to watch. Like, the league is gonna miss him. Super duper competitive, and that's what I love about him the most. He's just super competitive. He's always thinking. You saw it in his gamesmanship. You saw it at that All-Star weekend, that fiasco. I didn't like it, but it speaks to like his gamesmanship and how he's always thinking about how to win. So shout out to Chris Paul, man. When the year ends, I hope you had a great retirement. And yeah,
Paul.
And one. Yo,
Bro,
listen.
Jesus Christ.
by the way, for our audio listeners, we got highlights playing on there, so check out the YouTube. Continue, Paul.
it's a fact.
Yeah. But he had that in this game too, low key. But anyway, listen, man. The first thing I thought of is there's no way this man is retiring before LeBron. This is getting crazy, the amount of players, contemporaries, greats at this point that played in LeBron's era, that came in after LeBron, that are retiring before. That's crazy. But man, quintessential point guard, literally the last of his breed, literally.
Jesus.
Hold on. Like, he literally the last of his breed because Tyrese is a big guard himself. Like, he is literally the last guard still playing.
Oh,
man, tell you, the last guard still playing that is his size and was an all-time great. The last one. Maybe could say Steph, although he's like 6'3". But yeah, like let's not forget too, Players Association president as well.
Yes, yeah.
That speaks to the leadership, how much people revered his leadership. He had some haters, man. Let's say that too. Like, he had some people that didn't like his leadership style, his play style.
Scott Foster.
But they
I can't wait for him to finally tell us.
You go.
Yes.
That 30 for 30 is gonna be crazy.
We need that interview. Chris Paul, get a podcast,
man. But I'm talking about players too. Like, that didn't like a lot of, but they had to respect him, and that's how you know. That's a sign of greatness. You have to. You don't have to like him, but you had to respect him. So much so that he was a Players Association president.
That time he kidnapped DeAndre Jordan and said, "You're not leaving the Clippers. Keep going."
Yeah, bro. There's just so like he.
Oh, get up,
son.
There's nothing down there.
See, the thing is, like you said, you don't want to talk about like where he ranks and all that, so I don't want to, get there. But
yeah, we just give him flowers right now.
Yeah, like one of the greatest ever. I don't know, and it's sad because I don't know if you're gonna ever see anybody like him, because before him, there was Isaiah. You understand? And it's hard to say that there will be like all his children are taller than him. You know what I mean? Like. So even there, like, it's hard to say, but let me say this: his legacy will be remembered forever, because although he didn't win a chip, Shea got a chip. Shea attributes his development to him. Mm-hmm. There's greatness all over this league.
Like, for real.
Yeah, like there's greatness all over this league because of him. Championship.
I'm not gonna lie, and watching these highlights and thinking about highlights we saw earlier, I see a lot of Cade.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's big.
Okay, I see that.
But he's big.
I'm watching these highlights and then think about the Cade highlights we saw, low key, bro.
Look at that. Look at the intelligence. Look at
as well. The NBA supports the HBCUs because of him.
That's
right.
True.
Talk about it.
That's a fact as well.
North Carolina legend.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
Who's doing this right now?
No one.
Oh, his 60-point game for his grandpa. That story is incredible.
That was fire.
Right.
Oh, man.
That was.
Hey, Dwight.
People forget.
Ball head Dwight.
Hey, boy. Man. Like,
Dwight got baptized a lot, yo. No one talks about it.
No, he got baptized a lot.
Dwight got baptized a lot.
Yes. Well, like some of
the not the behind the head. The Michael Jordan spin tap.
Hey,
Put your hands
and
together.
one.
What?
He was mad strong too. Chris
Yeah,
Paul was so
OD.
strong.
All that, like, he has a strong center of gravity.
You don't see guards with this build no more either. This body.
No,
Get
stop.
off me.
The
Just
power
get off
point
me.
guards. The power
Them,
point
them
guards.
Rodney Stuckey type bills.
Rodney Stuckey type.
Rodney Stuckey type. Look like
Yo,
running back.
ISO real quick, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I grew up trying to be a point guard. Get that off the screen. I grew up studying the point guard position many, many nights on YouTube, up way too late. Definitely should have been getting sleep, but I was obsessed. And I shed a thug tear when D Rose retired and when he got his jersey retired, because D Rose was just such an incredible inspiration from the point guard position, just to be exciting and dynamic and athletic. But when it comes to learning the game of basketball, understanding how to play, understanding how to win, I mean, I poured over Chris Paul tape. Absolutely poured over it. I mean, talk about small guard dominance, talk about extension of the coach, talk about leadership, talk about mastery of skill. I mean, one of the coldest mid-range assassins the game has ever seen. Ever. I mean, talk about he's the blueprint for making pick and roll reads. If you really want to talk about it, every guard that gets drafted in the NBA today has to have an understanding of pick and roll reads to even be considered an NBA guard. Those reads are largely Chris Paul reads.
Yep.
In the era where pick and roll became the way NBA is played, it became the way NBA is played. NBA is a copycat league. They did that because of Chris Paul. Chris Paul, I don't want to say invented, but he basically mastered pick and roll offense and exhibited it to be as deadly of an offense as it is, because you could not figure it out. He can make the pocket pass, he can make the lob, he can make the look to the corner on the weak side, he can make the mid-range pull-up, he could go all the way to finish, or he could duck behind the screen and shoot the three. I mean, this is what he did every night, every single night. And talk about two-way. Talk about two-way as a small guard. Yes, he could be exploited with his height a little bit, but you were not going to dribble in front of him. You had to turn your back to him.
Yes.
You absolutely 94 feet as the star of the team.
Yes.
Let's really talk about it. As the star of the team, picking up 94 feet, making you turn your back, turning you over, running the fast break off. Like, man, his impact on the game, I think, is largely unheralded. It's the blueprint for a lot of guard play today. I modeled so much of my game after Chris Paul. Listen, there was a lot of D Rose and Kyrie in there because I love them and their dynamism. But in terms of playing point guard, playing my position on the floor, there was no one better to look at growing up than Chris Paul. And you know what? Why that also is saying a lot? Because Chris Paul also dominated in the era of point guards. We say there's no point guards in the NBA anymore. Well, in his era, every team damn near had an all-star point guard. Darren Williams.
I was just about to say
Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Help me out. How do we keep going? I mean,
Jason Kidd was out there too.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Baron Davis.
I mean, it was a battle every night, and then he stayed around when it was Russ and then D Rose, and then every night it was a battle, and he showed up two ways, man. Curry at a certain point.
Yeah.
I mean, golly. And he did it in the Western Conference.
That's something that doesn't get talked about enough.
I need time to process the fact that Chris Paul's career is coming to an end.
Brother.
He is literally like after Kobe, bro. Like it's really Chris Paul for me, dog. Like
I feel
that was my guy. That was what watching. Like, I used to watch a lot of high school basketball when I was in high school to learn how to get better, and I always treated watching college as, like, the level I was trying to get to, and I always watched NBA as, like, this is expert-level basketball. Like, this is the highest level, the eventual goal. He and Kobe defined that. Like if I wanted to watch what a perfected, excellent basketball player looked like, I would turn on a Chris Paul game to see what basketball played at its highest possible level looks like. Like, that's where I hold Chris Paul to.
I'm just gonna say it too. He don't need a chip.
No, he don't.
He's one of the few players ever where you look at and it's like, it's okay.
That's
it's all
man.
right.
Like,
We get it. Like,
the chip, like he didn't have any questions about him.
right.
A chip would have had to answer. We
Right.
knew who he was. It just never worked out, but he had it. He was that.
Every time.
Was that, man. He was it.
But one thing I forgot to mention, he constantly made literal franchises better. When he would go to their franchise,
greatest acts is what he did with the Thunder.
Yes.
And
yes.
He's the reason that they had a resurgence into what they are now. Let's really talk about it.
Yeah, man. Like that means so much.
They were dead in the water. They were dead.
That's exactly why he don't need a chip. He don't need a chip because exactly that. That doesn't affect his place in history, at least. So shout out to Chris.
Well-respected legacy. Well-respected.
And I hope he knows that. I really, really, really hope he knows that.
I think I would hope that he's retired because he knows. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I hope that people that are speaking about him in the media that are not us and pretend to know basketball really do some research about this man.
I hope his farewell tour is like raucous. Like he should get a lot of flowers on this tour, and they better play him some minutes.
I don't want to see Paul Pierce flowers.
No.
I want to see a step. I'm not even kidding.
Real talk.
I know.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. I really hope he knows it because I know he's not getting minutes this year, and I hope he doesn't feel like his career is like just like. I hope he knows what everything that we're saying. And he's not retiring as he feels like it's over.
They got to give him some minutes in all these arenas, man.
Yeah, man.
I think that's probably why he's calling it because he's realizing he's not in the rotation. He's like, yeah, this is gonna be it.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I hope he knows. I hope he's not retiring because he feels like, what am I doing here? But
I don't know. 21
years. I might have to make
the only player. He's the only player outside of Paul George. He's the only player in my life that I imagined often in a Laker jersey that never put it on. Like, I'm sad that I never get that visual. Melo put the jersey on. Dwight Howard put the jersey on. LeBron put the jersey on.
David Stern.
I'm trying to think of who else I imagined in the Laker jersey. Luka I didn't even imagine Luka in the jersey, and he put the jersey on. I imagined Russ in the jersey, and Russ put the jersey on.
It's crazy.
Do you imagine Giannis in the jersey?
I've never imagined Giannis in the jersey. No.
Okay. That's hate.
Right. I did imagine Kyrie in the jersey, but only for like 3 months. Anthony Davis, he put the jersey. Like everyone I've ever imagined putting the jersey
Rondo?
on. I never imagined Rondo in the jersey. No, that was
yes.
crazy.
What he did for you when he did. Come on now, brother.
But yeah, everyone has put the jersey on. He's the only person who absolutely deserved to have that jersey on. If there was anywhere the number 3 was going to be retired, it should have been the proper Los Angeles.
Oh, here we go.
Oh man.
Oh, here we go.
Come on, brother.
We're gonna come back and talk about that one day, but we're at 2 hours. We gave an extra 20 minutes to Chris Paul because he deserves it. Because he gave us 48 minutes every night. Drop a bomb for that.
Bar. Where else are you gonna find that bar? Come on, man. Where else?
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget in the comments to vote for who you thought was Potter of the Week. And one more thing before we go, we always got.
Who won last week?
I don't know. I gotta go check the comments. But definitely put in the comments who you thought was Potter of the Week. Looking at the schedule upcoming, if y'all have a vote for Game of the Week, put in the comments. We'll talk about it now. First quick look at it. I think probably the best game we got. I mean, there's Clippers Cat. Nah, Clippers kind of suck.
Not kind of. They're garbage.
We got Cavs Raptors. That could be a good one. How we feeling about that? Cavs Raptors.
Let me hear what else we got.
What day of the week is it?
That's Monday.
I want to see some Knicks games. How about that?
We got Pistons Celtics.
No, Celtics are trash. What are you talking about?
Oh, we got Timberwolves Thunder on when is this? Tuesday at 7:30.
That sounds good.
What time? What time?
Wednesday 7:30. The Timberwolves, the Thunder.
That's
On
it.
ESPN?
Oh, Wednesday?
We have already broke down the Thunder, though. To be fair.
Yeah, that's facts. What's going on? No, nothing on Thursday. It's slim pickings this week, actually. I mean, we can do Bucks Knicks on Friday, 7:30.
Ew, the Bucks don't even have Giannis.
Is he still injured?
Yeah, they're out. Yeah, he's gonna be out for like a week or two. They said.
Yeah, man, I'm not watching the Bucks with no Giannis, bro.
Everett, let's do. Is the Thunder Wolves game on ESPN?
Yeah,
It's yeah.
Effort.
I mean,
I'm
I'm gonna
gonna break down the
this
game
Friday.
more than the team, so could be interesting nonetheless.
All right, we doing that? Thunder
Sure.
Timberwolves. Ant is back, so
Nice.
All right,
Point
that sounds
guard
good.
in.
He's not a point guard.
Let's say that, and if we want to change it, we let the people know.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, don't forget to tune in to.
oh, there is Spurs Nuggets on Friday.
What time? Because we're not doing one of these.
9:30.
Nah, we're not.
We have a suggestion in the comments.
We're not going to do that.
No, we're not doing
Awful suggestion.
Hell no.
With love.
No, with hate.
Hold on, I didn't say that.
All right, yo, comments, vote. Do y'all want to see us do Spurs Nuggets or Timberwolves Thunder? Let us know. And Paul, throw a poll up on the IG story.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Let's see what comes
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
We'll decide Tuesday night. Spurs Nuggets or Timberwolves Thunder. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all weekend. Be blessed. Stay healthy. And this has been Fast Breaks. Light it up.
Peace.
Come on. It's Fast Breaks. Listen. We back with another one. Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game. We don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the outlet.